All right, so the first thing we're gonna go over is just snap downs. So I think the great thing about snap downs is not only you can score, but it also helps you set up your shots. So I'm gonna show you guys, 3 different things you can do with the snap down. The first one I'm gonna show is just snapping the guy down to his hands. And then the second is going to be, getting an angle, using the snap to get an angle to set up your shots. And then the third thing is going to be, you try to snap the guy, he stays up nice and strong, and then you can go to your shots there. So, 3 different things. I'm gonna show you guys that. Then we're gonna go to short offense. So, ways to finish in the front headlock. And, a lot of the stuff I'm going over today, it's all about the small details. That's what wrestling's all about, really. A lot of you guys know the basis of wrestling and a lot of the stuff to do, but what makes you go from good to great is the little things. So just like knowing where your hands are at, where your feet are at, make sure I'm positioning the guy in the correct position thing. So, the first thing, for snap down that I always look for is, I try to snap the guy kind of where his, the hole is. So when I talk about that, it's like where his lead length isn't. So he doesn't have anything to post on there. If I try to snap him right on his leg, he's a lot stronger here. But if I snap him here where he's not, it's a lot easier for me to pull him down. And for me to set up my snaps, I either want, the guy leaning on me hard where I can snap him, or I want to create pressure on him so he pushes back into me and then I can snap him down. So, those are the main things. Wrestling, it's a lot about pressure, understanding, how much pressure my opponent is putting on me. If he's leaning on me hard, when to snap. I don't want to, try to snap the guy if he's backing up or he's thumb blocking me and staying away. I want to create pressure on him, get him towards the edge of the mat where he has to push back into me, and then I'm snapping and getting to my offense. So, it's same thing. It's the same thing with, setting up your shots. It's it's creating the pressure and getting the guy stepping into you or pushing into you so you can get to your takedowns. So, the first thing we're going to do is I just want you guys to start playing around with the snaps, creating pressure. Be a good partner, create good pressure for him, snap him around, move him. And just remember, I'm snapping the guy kind of to where his hole, the hole is. So if this is my lead leg, I'm snapping him this way. And I kind of like to guide it. And another way I like to set up snaps, can I have a volunteer real quick? Okay, so do you guys know, understand the importance of fakes, right? So how important fakes are. So hold your hands like this, and when I put my hands, catch my hand like here. All right, see how he's catching me every single time? Okay, now let's see what happens if I had a fake in there. So you guys understand how fakes work then? So it keeps the guy guessing. He doesn't know, quite when it's coming. So this is what I want you guys to do. Thanks, man. Okay, so this is how I like to set up my fakes. So, my number one shot, I like to hit the sweep single a lot. So, I come here, I go inside tie, collar tie is where I like to snap from. You can snap from inside tie, collar tie, or, collar tie, you can snap an arm here, kind of move that guy here. But, I'm creating fakes here. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm staying down. And what's that doing? That's pulling his weight away from him. And then I'm pulling down. A lot of people think you're snapping with this top hand as you're going to be your strong power hand, but it's really this arm that's on the inside tie. So I'm faking, I'm pulling it, running around, which we're going to go over short offense in a little bit. But this is what I want you guys doing. I want you guys moving your partner around, feeling his pressure, fake, pull down here, run around. You guys got that? We're just gonna start off with that, kind of pulling the guy, understanding his pressure. Remember, snap him to his hole. Try some different things, see what you guys like there. You guys got any questions with that? All right, let's work on that for a little bit. Clap, 1, 2. So something I really want to emphasize is when I'm doing my snaps, it's not just all in my arms where I'm trying to pull this guy down. I'm using my hips and my legs to really pull that guy. That's where like a lot of my strength comes from. Like I'm not just like using my arms, but like I'm activating like my back and my lats and like all the way into like my hips and everything. So when I'm pulling, it's like I'm using all of that power to pull them down here so I can move, you know? Okay, so the second thing from the snaps that I was talking about is just about creating an angle. So I use this to just create an angle, get the guy moving, kind of set up my shots. You know, this doesn't always have to be to a takedown. You know, I like to, you know, okay, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. I snap, but I like to get on the outside of this arm here. See how he's off of me? And I bury my head and I circle into him to get him kind of into me. And then from there, I kind of read and see what kind of, you know, look he's giving me. And then that's when I go to, you know, whatever takedown he's giving to me. So, for example, you know, I'm snapping here, and I'm getting his arm kind of off of mine. You know, sometimes I'll snap, and he'll be like kind of stuck to me. And for me to get this arm, I straighten my arm out. And the arm comes off usually. Sometimes I got to do it twice, but I'll straighten it off. But I'm right here in this tricep. My head's coming to, you know, this hole here, and I'm circling into him here. And, you know, this is forcing him to move and like, you know, see what he's giving me here. When he's like this, high crotch right in my face. So I'm stepping, you know, going to my high crotch here, going across. And then the other way, you know, I'm here, I'm snapping, creating an angle. You know, he's squaring up with me really hard. That's when I'll go back to my sweep single. And yeah, so I want you guys to work on that. I'm gonna throw you guys just a couple of tips, small things that I like to do on my high crotch and my single leg too. You know, so, you know, for my high C, the main thing, I'm snapping them here, I'm creating an angle. It's all about getting a good penetration step. So I get a good penetration step, I'm nice and strong in the leg. You know, it's really gonna be the same thing for my sweep single too. I have a nice strong post leg, my back is straight, my head is up, I'm in deep. And you know, this is where I think is one of the great details here. My right arm is cinching back into, you know, his crotch here, right in his hip. And I can go nice and deep here. And you know, this helps me elevate this guy and get a lot of strength. You know, if I'm just trying to hold him here, you know, I don't have as much strength there. So I kind of call this like, it's like a re-grab. So I'm here and my other arm's coming in deep. You know, this is like especially good for, you know, you heavyweights. You know, it's hard to pick up these big boys a lot of times, you know, or someone's bigger than you. I'm nice and deep in this crotch and I'm coming across, and I like to finish off double. So I kind of sweep here, finish there. So the main thing there is just, I like to do a re-grab where my elbow is like as deep as it can be in the hip, because that helps me kind of control his whole body. Then I'm taking him across. Okay, and now, you know, the sweep single, you know, I'm snapping, getting an angle. He's squaring up on me really hard. I'm stepping here, and my arm is shooting behind the leg. And I see, you know, a lot of guys in high school, you guys and younger, you know, sometimes you guys aren't really sure, you know, which way to lock here. My arm that I shoot with is the one always on top. You guys know why? So say I'm like this and I'm trying to pull this leg up. All he has to do is fight off one of my arms. See how, because this arm is like the bottom arm. So, you know, my arm's not gonna be stronger than his leg. So he's gonna pull my weight off of my lock. But if I'm locked like this, then, you know, he's carrying the weight of, I'm carrying the weight of his leg with both of my arms, not just one. And you come up here for a second. You know, you guys, this is how I like to do my lock. You know, I see a lot of guys like doing finger locks or stuff like this. Like, try to break my lock here. Yeah, it's like pretty easy. But this is the lock that I like to do. I kind of try to get back to this lock on like all of my takedowns. Every time I got a lock, I hide my thumbs and I bring my hands over top of my thumbs like that. So my fingers are hiding like my thumbs. Try to break it now. It's a lot harder to break. Yeah, it's not happening. Thanks. So, you know, tuck my thumbs, fingers over top of the thumbs, and this is where I'm trying to lock. So like here, when I hit my sweep single, my arm is shooting behind the leg, and I'm going back to here, just like this. And I'm in a nice, good position. But, you know, those are just a couple things I wanted to give you guys, you know, with, you know, high crotch and double, or sweep single. So anyway, this is what I want you guys doing. I want you guys playing with your partner, snapping, creating angles, kind of looking, you know, I'm not rushing it. You know, I don't even have to go to a takedown a lot of times. It's just me creating an angle and getting this guy moving. But if this leg's right here, that's when I'm going to my and then I'm snapping, I'm running, sweep single. Just like that. You guys got any questions with that? What's up? Yes. So here, I'm snapping him down. You know, if he stays on me, I straighten my arm out. I'm snapping him, I'm getting an angle. So my high C here, I'm stepping in deep, my back is strong, my head is up. I'm in a nice strong position here. And this is where I do, you know, my elbow deep. I re-grab, my arm is switching with this one. I'm going nice and deep in the crotch. My hand kind of sweeps at this leg, and I do a shuffle motion. So I'm shuffling here. And that's getting all of his weight off his leg. And once all this weight's here, I just finish here, sweep that leg out. You guys got that? Any more questions up there? You guys good? All right, let's work on that for a little bit. Clap, 1, 2. So the first one I showed you guys was just when I'm snapped, like fake snap, I'm hovering here. You know, I'm trying to run. And then the next one you guys just did was when I'm snapping, I'm getting an angle on this guy. So the third thing is like, I'm snapping, but you know, this guy's being strong. I'm not getting his hands quite to the mat. So then that's when I'm just gonna shoot on the guy. So, you know, create pressure on this guy. You know, this happens to me like when I wrestle like really tall guys. They like to stay like strong and up, and like, you know, the big heavyweights, you know, they like to stay up high in the hand fight. You know, this will work, you know, really in any weight class. So you know, I try to pull this guy, but he stays strong and he's trying to pull himself back up. So, you know, all this does is it leaves an open shot for me. So, you know, I like to go, this is how I set up my double leg. So, you know, I'm snapping here, and I'm letting him come up. You know, I don't wanna stay connected and try to like come here. He's gonna feel that. So I'm snapping him here, and I'm releasing. And see how he's coming up? And I'm staying low. I'm not coming up with him. I'm in a nice strong power position, and that's when I step. And I double leg across. Which you don't have to do a double leg either. Sweep single is good. But I just find the double leg is good because I'm setting, and I'm in a nice strong position, and I'm going here. So, snap again. You know, I'm moving the guy, I'm pulling him. I like to get his feet moving here. And I snap, and I release. He pops up, straight into my double leg. So, you know, third thing, you know, covering, getting an angle. I'm snapping, the guy's staying strong, I'm releasing. All this is just like another setup. So, once again, I'll show you guys. Pushing, I like to move the guy, switch, pull, release. I'm nice and low. My head is beating his. I'm in a nice strong position. Stepping. I like to take the legs. I like to go like post, or if you guys like to go blast double, coming across. I like to cover the body, try to get the pin. You guys got any questions on that? Anything? Any questions up there? All right, let's work on that for a little bit, then we're gonna go to short offense finishes. All right, clap 1, 2. All right. All right, I'll just say this too. Like, I think it's great if you guys like have a journal where you write your wrestling technique down. Like, you guys are probably getting a lot of information at this like camp, and like it's hard to remember a lot of the stuff. So like after a lot of my practices, like I like to write down like my technique and like stuff I need to work on from the practice. So like I think like writing stuff down is like helps you so much, because like I'll come back and like if I do a big long camp like this, I'll be like, what was the thing Bo Bartlett showed me that I really liked? But like after the session, I wrote it down so I can like come and look, or like, you know, I really liked, you know, James Green's over tie snap. So like I wrote this down, and like now I can practice it later. So like, I think if you guys like have a journal, like it's like so helpful. Like it just like helps you after practice too. Like just kind of getting stuff down. Like, yeah, like this worked really well for me today. I'm gonna work on this some more. Like these are the little details. Like, you know, Mason showed me, you know, getting my elbow deep on the high crotch, or like, you know, the lock on the sweep single. I like that. So like, I think just like writing it down. You guys don't even need a journal. Like, you know, the notes app in your iPhone, you know, whatever. But, all right, short offense. So, you know, all the snap stuff that I was showing you guys, you know, you got to finish the takedown. So, you know, the first one we're doing is just kind of you know, the basic one. So, you know, we're gonna work on our snaps kind of still. You know, so I'm just gonna do a basic snap. So I'm snapping and I'm pulling him underneath me. So I like to go chin and like tricep a lot, because I feel like I can, like, I don't know, I like to move. Like sometimes I can go here and like I feel like the pulls and stuff are really good, but like my habit's always just chin tricep. So that's what I do. So I pull him down here. You know, my chest, he's right in the middle of my back. So I like to pull him down to the mat here. And I like to stay kind of up on this knee right here, like, because I feel like I can run and like I can step hard. But, you know, the main thing here is, you know, I'm trying to run around this guy. So, you know, for me I want to create pressure on him, just like the snaps. So I do this thing where I want to coil his body. I want to get the pressure of his hips on the back of his legs, so it's harder for him to run away from me. So I pressure into the guy here, and I get his hips kind of back, and like a lot of times he'll push back into me. So then I like to go like a snap pull. So I'm up off of my knee here. I kind of hit and I pull here, and I'm pulling him at an angle, and like almost just like the snap I was showing you guys where you're getting the angle. Now I have an angle on this guy, and I like to run hamstring. Like, you know, I think it's okay to run ankle, but I'm always running hamstring. But I just don't want you guys running back, because like if you're wrestling a good guy, he did all this work and I'm running back on this guy, he can come in these circles out of me, and like I feel like I did all that for nothing. So I always run hamstring every single time. I snap, I coil his body, I pull, and that's what gets his weight forward and, you know, helps me to get this angle on him. I go hamstring, and then I run around. Freestyle, so I'm gonna lock my hands. But once again, I'm snapping, I'm pulling him underneath me. His chest is right in the middle of my back, so he can't poke his head out anywhere. I snap him down to the mat. I'm off of one knee. I push into his body, and once he pushes back, I'm pulling, I'm running the hamstring. And I'll show you guys too, one of the main reasons I run hamstring is because, you know, if you're wrestling a good guy, he's gonna be trying to wrestle back up to his feet. So I'm here, and a lot of times this is gonna turn into a shot. I'm gonna turn back into my single leg, or I'm here, if he comes up, I'm circling around, go to my sweep single here. So that's why I like to run hamstring, is because it's a short distance for me to hold on to, but it's like I'm staying connected to him, where I can get to my shots, my sweeps, my high crosses. So I'll show you guys one more time. Coming, pushing into this guy, he's pushing back into me, snapping him underneath me. I'm covering with my chest. I like to go one hand on the chin, I pull him down to the mat. I'm off of this knee here, the side that I'm on. I push into, I coil his body up, and then I snap. Sometimes, you know, he'll get back in a good position. It might take me 2 snaps, but I'm creating an angle, I'm circling hard, I'm going hamstring. Once I go hamstring and I cover this arm, is when I can finally cover on the back. You guys got questions with any parts of that?
Are you snapping and going for the hamstring at the same time?
Yes.
Or are you snapping?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I pretty much do it like the same time. So I'm snapping here, just like that. So I'm like snapping and releasing. You know, if I feel like I can't do it, I'll stay on it and I'll snap you a couple times. You guys want to work on that? What's up? Louder? What's up?
So snap the lead round.
Yeah. All right, let's work on that for a little bit. Clap, 1, 2. So this time, you know, it's all about chain wrestling, building off of what, you know, you're previously doing, understanding your system. I know James was talking about that a little bit yesterday. So like, when I try to hit the move I just showed, like sometimes the guy will circle really hard, and I know he's gonna try to do that. So I'm gonna be ready with my side change back to the opposite side. So, and I just want to remind you guys too, I don't think I emphasized it enough. My pull is like down. I'm not just like pulling him into me or straight down. It's down and in. So I'm coming here. So I'm pulling him down and into me, and then that's what I'm running. But so my side change here. So I come here. I try to do my pull again, and you know it's hard. You know I feel like I'm a little far away. He's running away from me. This is when I'm gonna do my side change. So all I'm gonna do is I switch knees and pull, and I come back to the other side. So I'll show you guys that again, kind of slow. I push in, I'm pulling here, he's running away from me, I'm switching knees, and I kind of guide him and pull back to this other side, and I run hamstring again. It's, no, I kind of just, anything you can do to go back to the other side. I really like the shuck too. So like if I'm running hard here, I'll shuck them, go back to the other side. You know, it's all about just creating that misdirection on that guy. If he's circling really hard on me one way, I'm coming back the other way. And you know, if he's coming, I'll come back the other way again. You know, it's all about just creating those openings for yourself. So I'll show you guys again. Here, pull it in. I'm pulling, I'm trying to change him. I come down to one knee here, and he's gonna be kind of running his hips around this side. So that's gonna shorten it up for me. And I'm coming here, I'm coming hamstring and running around. So all I'm doing is here, I'm switching knees, and then I'm running back to the other side. It's pretty simple. You guys got questions on that?
Do you ever have a problem when you switch your knees?
Him attacking?
Yeah.
Yeah, like I do sometimes, but like if I get my hips up and I'm like moving quickly, it's like hard for him to, because he's focused on trying to come around. And like I'm not staying on my knee very long. I'm not staying on my knee long enough for him to like try to attack me. Like I'm here. But like if I'm like staying there and trying to go here, like I don't want to have my weight back on my leg. Like I'm using it just to, all the knee down does is switch my weight to the other side for me to attack the other side. That's all it is. You guys got any questions?
I'm seeing a lot of people getting their arms stuck. What do you do if they?
Yeah, because that's what I like to do. I like to go and hold onto the tricep to kind of control the guy, which there's a couple things that you can do. I think the best one is, you know, I want to get my arm unstuck. So like if I'm in here and you know he's tight on me, this isn't where I want to be. I want to have my hand on the chin. So all I'm doing is I push into him, and I'm doing almost the same thing with the snap, but I'm pulling, I'm shortening my arm up just like that. So I push into him, he's on my tricep, I'm pulling him down, but I pull in and then I shorten my arm up. And then I'm on the chin here. And then that's when I can go to my pulls, my snaps around, my step, my side change. So if he's on your elbow really hard and he's trying to, you know, control it, I push into him and I shorten my arm up. You know, I kind of like, I'll throw my hand down to like make it thin, and then I'll pull up like this. And it's like really the same thing. If I'm, you know, underhook here too, push in, shorten it up, kind of those kind of things. You guys got any questions with that? All right, let's work on that for a little bit, and then we'll have one more thing after this, and we'll call it a session. All right, clap, 1, 2. So this one is just building off of the side change. So it's like very similar, but you know, instead of this guy, he's trying to, you know, stop me. Because you guys know, like in defense a lot, to keep guys from going around you, you know, you kind of keep your arm up and keep, you know, circle with him to keep him from running around your side. So, you you know, say he's doing that to me, when I side change, he leaves this arm up. So I'm pushing in, and I pull, he leaves this arm up. That's when I'm going to the cow catcher here. Just like that. You know, this move works a lot. It's like Coach Bormet's favorite move. He does it all the time. He's the Michigan wrestling coach. All you do here, you run corner. Same thing before, I'm switching knees, but he's leaving this arm up. And all I'm doing here is I go to chin. This arm is going to the back hip. I'm not trying to come here and take him over this way. I bring him to this hip, and this helps get his arm like up on my shoulder. So I'm like nice and strong here. Like I got him here, and I'm on his chin, and I'm gonna twist him down and like increase a little bit back. Lock on the head, go there. So, you know, this is just an extension of the side change. You know, I'm trying to do the side change, but this guy leaves his arm up. I'm catching that cow catch, and I'm going to pin the guy. So here, run it, drop to my knee, these arms up, my hands come to the chin, I'm coming to his back hip pocket. Back hip pocket, I'm taking him over, and I'm pinning the guy. He's counting the lights. All right, you guys got any questions for that? One more time. All right. I'm coming, I'm pushing, I'm snapping, I'm trying to run side. I'm dropping this knee, just like before, and I'm switching sides here. I'm trying to run hamstring, but his arm's up. I'm catching his chin. My hand's coming to his hip pocket, and I like to bring this leg up. I'm nice and posted up on this leg, and I'm bringing him down. And I'm pinning. All right, we only got a couple more minutes, so let's work on that, and we'll get a break, all right? 5, 1, 2. Second session, we're gonna work on defense a little bit. You know, I think defense is just as important as offense. I think, you know, like I said, the first session, it gets neglected a little bit in camps. So I think I'm going to show you guys kind of my defense. I was really comfortable in college because I felt like, you know, I had good offense, but like if the guy shot on me, I was still scoring too. So like, I feel like just like having that confidence of having good defense will just like help your wrestling so much, help you open up a little bit more, help you go. So, you know, just like the first session, you know, it's all about the small details, the little things. You know, you guys all know how to sprawl. I just watched all you guys do it in the warm-up. But it's about knowing where to put your hands, where to release your hips, you know, where you want, you know, your weight at. It's all about the little things. So first, I'm just going to show you guys, you know, defense from single leg, high crotch, and double leg. And then we're going to work on a little bit of defense from there. Like, we're gonna start off the guy shooting in and you kind of beating him. And then the second we're gonna do, if he's like in deep on you, and how to move his head and create space for yourself to get your legs back. And then third, I'm gonna show you guys kind of a move I like to do from like Shin Wizard. And then we're gonna do some shot recovery stuff after that, so. All right, so first thing, I'm going to, he has a partner, I'm gonna have him just like shoot in on me. And like, you guys all know your lines of defense. It's your head, your hands and your arms, and your hips. Those are your 3 lines of defense. So, you know, I always want to be blocking with my head and my arms, you know, matching his level. And then, you know, if he beats my arms and my head, that's when my hips, I want to do a big sprawl on him. So I'm going to show you guys a sprawl. And so he's going to sweep single me first. We're going to do sweep single first. The reason I'm showing you guys all 3 is because it's really like all very similar. It's just kind of, you know, understanding. It's the same fundamentals to each thing. So sweep single. So say he hits a sweep single on me. He's coming in on me. What I'm going to do is my right hand is going on his head. And I want to cover his head with my hips. So my hips are going to go on his back here. And when I release, okay, so we always talk about this thing called releasing our sprawl at Michigan. So it's not just like, you know, putting my weight on him and dropping down. It's like I'm dropping my weight on him and I'm throwing my legs back hard. And what's that gonna do is that's gonna make him release his lock every time. Like, I wanna sprawl down hard and like I'm gonna sprawl away and down hard so it releases his lock every time and there's no, like, he can't wrestle from it. So he comes here, he swings, singles in. I'm gonna block the head and I'm going to sprawl my legs back and cover it. So here, I drop down to my knees. I go down to my knees, and once I hit, because this is putting a lot of pressure on him like this. It's putting a lot of pressure on him. If I'm on my toes and he starts to build up, this gives him something to build off of when my toes are up. So I like to go down to I like to go down to my knees and I push back. So I'm sliding back like this the whole time. So when I practice my sprawls, I'm here and I sprawl back. I'm here, sprawl back. Because I'm creating that pressure away from him where he can't hold on. So sweep single. And I also just want to, bury his head, cover his hips, and release my hips backwards. So I'm here, sprawl. And if he's stuck, if I'm stuck here still, I block the knees. I go L's with both my hands, and I block the bottom of the knees. I don't block the hips, I block the bottom of the knees because this creates more separation. I kind of wiggle out. And then once I feel his lock break, that's when I'm doing the exact same short offense that we did the first session. So I'm doing my go behinds, I'm running hamstring. So I want to do a high crotch now. So it's the same premise. I'm stuffing the head and I'm bringing like my head and my chest back, and my hips are going down to my knees. So I'm going here, I'm here. See how I drop my weight straight backwards? I see a lot of guys, a lot of coaches teach, they like to run like an angle here to sprawl. The reason I don't really like to do that because, if I'm this guy and I try to sprawl and get an angle, he can build up on me still. And he just got to keep turning with me. So I deal with it immediately by dropping my weight back and releasing my sprawl on him. So I'm covering the head, just like the sweep single, covering the head. My chest is going down, I'm covering his back. My hips are releasing straight back. Here. So I'm dropping down to my knees. All my weight is right here into him. Then if I need a little bit extra space, I block the bottom of the knees and I wiggle out. Then I go behind. So I'm not really jumping to an angle. I'm releasing everything straight back. Because I'm heavy, I want to put my weight on, guys. All right, now let's do double leg. So double leg is really simple. It's you want to get your hips back just the same as the other ones. But if he doubles me, all I'm gonna do is I feed him one hip. Like I'm gonna let him have one hip because this turns it into a single leg and then it's the exact same finish. So this guy beats me, I feed him one hip and then I stuff the head straight down to my legs. I'll go like on my laces here. See how I like hit him down hard? I square him back because like I was saying, if I'm on my toes, this is giving him a post to build up on me. And it brings my hips back into him. But if I'm here, I keep sliding my hips away. And then once I feel the lock break, I'm running corner as fast as I can. So I just want you guys to switch it up with your partners. Hit the single leg on them, the high crotch, and the double leg, all right? It's all about, they're all the same premise. Stuffing the head, covering with your hips, releasing your sprawl straight backwards, straight to your knees, wiggling back, and then once that lock breaks, you want to get on your toes and start to run from there. And then do the same, run and hamstring just like we did first session. You guys got any questions on that? You guys good up there? All right, let's run that for a little bit. Clap 1, 2. Okay, just something small that I'm gonna add that I wanna emphasize. I don't know if I emphasized it or not, but when I sprawl, I'm going to my laces here. I'm not like on my toes because you can build up. I'm going here, and that just helps me slide away quicker. But I see this happening. Rotate 180. I see this happening a lot to you guys. I wasn't gonna show you guys, but might as well. So when I block the knees and this guy goes to his stomach because he's locking hard on me, you guys might feel you're like stuck here. All I do is I bring this hand here and I grab at his elbow and I pull it up like this, right at his elbow, not like his shoulder, his arm. But I bring this elbow and I step over top. It's impossible to hold the lock. And then I go behind. So that's just a little something if the guy goes to his stomach. All right, so anyway, what we're going to do now is partner is going to like start in on the leg. So what this is gonna simulate is like, if you're wrestling a guy and he just like, he beats you, he's in deep, and it's too hard for me to sprawl. It's too hard for me to sprawl. So the first thing I wanna do always is try to get on the head and release backwards. But he's in deep on me, he's starting here. So what I'm going to do is I'm meeting his pressure with my hips. So I'm pushing into him here, and what this is doing is creating a little bit of space between his head and my body, and I'm using my forearm here to push his head back to the inside. So all my head, I'm going here, pushing it back to the inside, and then I'm doing it just like a single leg. Because he's trying to finish a high crotch, and he's trying to get up hard, and then all of a sudden I switch his head to the inside. He's not going to be ready to try to finish and turn angle a lot of times, and that gives me time to sprawl on top of him and get my hips back, and just do it just like the single leg we just did. So this is high crotch. So here, I'm trying to push down hard. He's not letting me go back, so I'm hitting him with my hips, creating this separation. My forearm is kind of hitting him in the side of the face, and I'm turning his head inside here. And then I use my other hand right on the back of his head, and I cover it up. And then just like here, back on my toes, and I'm doing it just like a single leg. So that's the high C. And you know, the great thing is you can do it when he single legs you too. The thing I'm showing you guys is just like, he's in deep. It's hard for me to get my hips back, so I move his head to the other position. So if he's in a high crotch, I move him to a single leg. If he's in a single leg, I'll move his head out to the outside for like a high crotch. So here, I'm trying to sprawl here. All I'm doing here is I'm taking this hand that's on this side, and I kind of go to his chin here, and I turn his head inside here. And the same time I do that, I'm sprawling my hips. And then I'm running. So, yeah, this one. Too. So single leg here, I can't get him. My hand is reaching down, and I'm pulling his head out. And then the same time I'm doing that, I'm covering on top, getting my hips back, right in the corner. So this is when the guy's in really deep on you. It's really hard to sprawl back. So I'm shifting his head to the inside or outside to give myself room and space to get my hips back and sprawl and to score on the guy. You guys got it? Makes sense? You guys got any questions?
Like when you switch his head to like the other side, like if he goes to a double leg, is it like the same sense where I just like turn into a single leg?
Yeah, so like I was saying before, if he goes double leg on me, I feed him one hip. Because like, if he gets both my legs, like I'm in trouble. So I give him one hip like this. So if he's beating me bad on my double leg, I'll give him one hip like this. And a lot of times I can get my hips back, but if I can't, that's when I'm coming here. And I like to turn, like I'll even get it really hard sometimes where I turn him hard and I'm able to just crowd him. Because he's so off balance. I move his head out and he's just so off balance, I just crowd him down to his side. So double leg, I feed him, I just give him one hip, and it just changes into a single leg. Anything else? All right, let's work on that for a little bit. Clap 1, 2. So that was just the two things where, you know, the guy shoots in, I'm getting my hips back, doing my nice, good fundamental defense. And then, you know, if the guy gets in really deep on you, you know, you can't sprawl your hips back, so you move the head to the inside or outside. So now I'm gonna show you guys, I guess it's a fun move. One I've been doing for a long time. So, you know, the guy's gonna sweep single to you and you're gonna go to a shin wizard. You guys all know what a shin wizard is, right? Yeah. All right, so he shoots on me and, you know, the shin wizard isn't your first line of defense. I gotta stress that. This isn't something you wanna jump to immediately. You know, I wanna try to cover my hips and sprawl, get my hips on top of them. This is like a last ditch, kind of the last ditch thing you wanna do. So you know, I'm gonna jump to, he sweep singles me, I'm gonna jump this shin wizard. So the way I do that is I drop down and I'm here. My hand kind of goes to the back of my, like my shin. That's why it's called shin wizard. So I'm going to my shin here and I'm pressuring into him, just like this. So I'm like up off of one foot, I'm putting a lot of pressure on him. And you guys know what you're supposed to do here as an offensive guy, right? You want to secure the knee, so secure the knee and finish the takedown. So yeah, you want to secure the knee and finish just like that. So what I want to do is, once I go to my shin wizard here, I pull my knee forward. I pull my knee forward. So he can't secure my knee. He can't lock on my knee. He's down by my ankle. So it's gonna be like really hard for him to try to jump up to my knee. And if he does, I'm pulling my knee forward again to keep him down below my ankle. And then all I'm doing here is where I have the shin, I'm putting a lot of pressure on him, just like this. Putting a lot of pressure on him. He's gonna be trying to build up. And once I feel him trying to build and put a lot of pressure on me, I'm spinning to the right. And I'm jumping down to his feet, just like that. This is a move I've hit on all levels, so it does work. So shin wizard. I'm here, I'm moving my knee forward. I'm pressuring down into him. I'm putting my weight on his body. My knee is beating his lock. I can move it forward if I need to. I'm here. I'm waiting for my opening where he's up and he's driving into me. And then I'm stepping here. I'm reaching around to my right side and I'm kicking this foot out just like that. And I'm going and getting behind him. So it's a quick spin. So here, once again, down in shin wizard, I move my knee forward. So he's below by my ankle. I'm pressuring into him. He's trying to come up into me. I'm coming, spinning around him just like that. You guys got that? Does it make sense?
Yeah.
Does anyone need to see it again? A lot of guys. Okay. So once again, shin wizard, a lot of times is your last line of defense. So you want to sprawl and get your weight on top of him first. But, you know, it happens sometimes. It's wrestling. So I go shin wizard, and I want his lock below my knee. I don't want him securing my knee, because I can't spin if he's secured at my knee. I can't spin, he's gonna hold on to me. So I'm pulling my lock over top. I want him as low down on the ankle as I can, and I'm putting a lot of pressure here, and I'm spinning to my right side here, and I'm kicking this foot and spinning around him just like that. Make sure you're a good partner and give him a good look. Try to like give him some pressure, and yeah, just be a good partner for him. And you know, let's not blow any knees out. You just want to spin hard, kick the foot, and spin out hard.
Are you reaching for anything as you're spinning?
Yeah, I mean, I'll try to reach for the back a lot of times, but I mean, how it goes is I usually spin so hard, I beat the guy, and he's like this, and all I gotta do is like cover the legs like a double leg or something. I just kind of cover the legs and finish on top. I know some guys try to grab over the top when they do it, but I usually spin and I beat it so hard I'm able to attack on the legs afterwards. Any other questions? You guys want to work on that for a little bit? All right, clap 1, 2. All right, so that was shot defense. So we're moving on now. So we're gonna do shot recovery now. So shot recovery is like, you know, you're shooting in on a guy and, you know, he defends like the stuff we're showing, and, you know, what's next for you? Are you gonna sit there on your knees and let him run around you, or are you gonna keep wrestling and try to score on him? So I'm just gonna give you guys kind of the base fundamentals, and then I'm gonna show you guys kind of the stuff that I really like to do in shot recovery. So I think the main fundamentals of like shot defense is like, I don't want to sit and try to hold on to the lock. Like, I gotta understand when I'm beat. Like, I don't want to sit there like we were doing where they're blocking the knees and he's just gonna keep extending me out until my lock breaks and then he's gonna run around me. Like, I gotta know when I'm beat, so I'm gonna release my lock and I'm gonna try to wrestle out of the position. You know, so I'm gonna shoot. I shoot here, and he sprawls on me hard, and I'm releasing my lock. Like I'm here because I want to wrestle. I want to wrestle hard here. Like I don't want to just stay here. I usually bring this foot up, my back foot on this side, and you know I'm gonna start circling up here, and I want to try to catch an underhook. I want to try to catch an underhook and like wrestle from here because I don't want to come up with nothing. Like I shot, I want to at least come up with something where I can wrestle with. You know, I'm gonna go back to my flag. I'm gonna throw by, you know, all of that stuff. But yeah. So once I get on the lock, I want to release it. I want to know. I know when I'm beat. But and I want to keep wrestling out there because I'm not gonna just stay down the whole time. Okay. So we're gonna do like front headlock. So what you do in a front headlock? So yeah, go ahead and hop on me. So I'm always controlling this elbow. I'm keeping this elbow nice and tight to my body here. And I stay off of this knee. I'm not gonna sit here, I'm not gonna be on my head. You know, it's easy run around for him. I like to post on this hand and keep this foot up. And once I get here, I wanna slide I don't wanna keep my head underneath him. You guys know how I talked about, you know, getting your hips on top of his head, squaring your hips up on top of him? Well, that's not what I want to happen when I'm doing shot recovery. So I'm trying to move my head out. So I want to move my head out to the side here, and I want to control this elbow, and I'm going to get up and I'm going to circle here. And that's going to bring me up and out of the position. So that's going to keep me going back to my feet. So once again, I'm here, I'm controlling this elbow. So all the stuff I show you guys is going to be off of me controlling this elbow and this tricep right here. So I'm off of one foot here once again. I'm using this to circle. I bring my head up, I bring my elbow back. I don't want him to control this arm here. I'm bringing this elbow back, and then my head's coming out, and I'm controlling this elbow. And like a lot of times, I can catch guys on low ankles when I'm coming up too. Or, you know, same thing that we did first session where I'm getting holding my high crotch on. But this is all about controlling the arm, shifting my head under so it's not directly underneath him. I'm finding the hole to get my head out, and I'm using my feet and I'm circling hard to get out of the position. So it'll look like this. I'm here, and I'm back to my feet and I can wrestle again. So that's just the basics there. So I want you guys doing that, you know, starting front headlock, controlling the arm, shifting your head over and getting up and circling hard. And then after that, we're gonna move to, you know, trying to score from there. And then if you guys want, you guys can go drop down to ankle pick 2 or push by and go to your high crotch like we did in the first session. You guys got questions? Yep. Let's go this side. I'm here, I'm up. My head's not down on the mat. I'm controlling this tricep. I'm up, I'm on this foot. I'm gonna circle to the side that I have the arm. So I'm circling here, I'm bringing this elbow back. My head is coming up into the side, like my ear is almost coming like on his chest here, because I don't want him to cover me. I'm coming here, and I'm moving on this elbow here. And then I'm back, and I'm ready to wrestle again, live another day. All right, you guys, let's work on that for a little bit. Clap, 1, 2. Let's go, big boys. Alrighty. Okay, so the next thing from shot recovery, this is a shot that I like to do a lot. It's called the dump. It's a move I've been hitting since I was really young. Funny story, I guess. I would have like when I was in like elementary school and middle school, kids would bet me money I couldn't hit the move on them. And I won a bunch of money off of people because I used to hit it all the time. But I know it's dumb. I just felt like this move was cheating when I was young because I hit it on every person, and like I made myself do other wrestling moves. But anyway. Okay, so this one, the dump. You know, I did it a lot from my feet, and I would purposely take a bad shot and you know, like dump them over. But just for the sake of showing you guys, I'm gonna start just from my knees, the shot recovery position. So this move is honestly really simple. It's just like all about feel and just practicing it. So I'm doing the same thing. You know, I'm up on one hand, I'm nice and tight in this tricep. I want to get it nice and locked to my body if I can. So I'm pinching with my elbow and my arm. I'm not letting go of this tricep the entire move. So I'm up here on one hand, I'm up on one foot here. All I'm doing is I'm bringing this knee down to the mat and I'm pulling him all the way down to this left side where I'm at. So like here. And once I do that, I'm popping my head up and I'm pulling and finishing on top of the front headlock. So I think a lot of people get messed up. They think you gotta block the knee or you gotta grab it and throw it over. Like I just do it just to like help guide myself a little bit. I'll throw it over. But like if you do it hard enough, you don't even need to hold the leg. It's all about that pull and that momentum and bringing everything down to the mat on that one side. So it's not even about this other arm blocking or throwing it over. I just kind of use it to guide myself. So once again, I'm up on one hand, I'm nice and tight in the tricep. This is locked nice and tight to my body. I'm up on one knee. This knee is coming to the mat and I'm pulling everything down to this left side. And I kind of like to grab this leg here too. So like here. And I sit and I listen for him, for his hip to hit. It only needs to hit for a second. And then I'm circling this way and I'm popping my head out and I'm finishing on top in a front headlock. And you guys see how I said I'm never letting go of this tricep. You know, I'm still holding on to it. So the move's pretty simple. It's all about like understanding his pressure and his momentum, being nice and high on the tricep. I think that's like something I gotta really emphasize is like, I don't have as much pull down here on his elbow. I don't have as much pull, it's hard for me to get him. So I'm almost reaching all the way up in his armpit, as high as I can go, and I'm stitching this down to my body. It's nice and tight here. I'm on my hand, I'm pulling everything down to the left side. I'm waiting for his hip to hit, and I'm pushing my head out. I'm popping my head out, just like that. And then we're gonna build off of that next, if that doesn't work. You guys got any questions? So this is just the dump.
Are you going like shoulder to head, or how are you kind of like rolling into it?
Yeah, I mean, I just think about like pulling everything down to the mat like here. Like I'm just like, I got it cinched as tight as I can to my body. Like I got a good grip on this arm and I'm just pulling it down to the mat like here. And then I hear his hip hit, and then that's when I pop my head out this way and I finish on top in like a headlock. So just play with that a little bit, see how you guys like it.
During the actual dump part, is all you're doing with that other hand to keep close?
Yeah, so there's like a couple things you can do to play with it, but I just want to emphasize that like, it's not about this arm. It's all about the arm that's getting pulled down. You're pulling it to the mat. So there's like a couple different things I can do if I want to. Like I know a lot of people block this knee here and dump. You know, I like to come on the inside a lot, or like I even would come on the back sometimes too. You know, like throw it on the back, but it's all about just pulling on this arm and you know, using this hand either inside, outside, but it's really not the important thing. The important thing is pulling on that arm. All right, let's work on that for a little bit. Clap, 1, 2. Okay, so this one is just a sucker drag, but you know, I maybe do it like a little bit different. And you know, all this is doing is like showing you guys chain wrestling. So I go from my dump to my drag. Like I try to get my dump and I'm not quite getting him over. I'll sucker drag real quick, and vice versa. I'll try to sucker drag, I can't get it, I'll go back to my dump. So it's just like all about chain wrestling, you know. Sometimes I'll switch between it 3 times. Like I'll dump, it won't work, I'll sucker drag, and then I'll come back to my dump again. So it's just like, it's like with any wrestling move, it's just like building off of it and knowing what to do next and stringing your moves together. It's all chain wrestling, you know. So, you know, this move's a little simple. We got like 10 minutes left, so we'll go through this pretty quick. So, you know, once again, back in shot recovery, I'm in the same position again. You know, I'm here. You know, sometimes it's hard, like if he's like hooked underneath me. This is when I feel like my dump will work really well. But like, say his arm is like hanging or he's locked across my body. This is when the sucker drag works really well. So all I'm doing is I'm pulling down, you know, doing the same thing as the dump again, but this time I'm stepping my foot up and I'm switching this hand to this hand. This hand's coming here and this other hand is coming off of the tricep and I'm reaching back to his opposite lat. So I'm stepping and I'm reaching to his opposite lat and I'm pulling him down and I'm pressuring back into him. So I always just find this move works really well in shot recovery. Just, you know, you dump, you're trying to pull him hard and then you sucker drag. You know, the guy's locked around your head. You kind of got to understand like how he's locked on you. If he's locked like around your neck and it's like nice and tight, that's when the drag works really well. If he's up and he's underhooked underneath you, that's when you can go to your dump. So once again here, I'm pulling nice and hard. He's locked on me. My hand is switching to here, and then this hand that's on the tricep is coming to his opposite lat, and I'm coming across, and I'm crowding up and into him here. And then, you know, this move works really well. Like, I go to like a trap arm in freestyle, but there's like a bunch of stuff you can go to in folk style. Like, you can go chicken wing. I think you can go to like tilt if you want, because his arm's up. So like, you know, I used to go like chicken wing a lot. That was like my main thing on top. So it's just like using that arm and like going from there, freestyle, trap arm, whatever you want from there. So all it is, you know, last thing in shot recovery, you know, I try to come up, I can't come up. I try to dump, you know, it's hard for me. He's pressuring back into me. My arm's coming across, switching with my other hand. I'm stepping up and towards him. I'm coming across, my other hand is coming to his lat, and I'm pulling him through. And I'm coming across them like this. I crowd my hips into him. Break him down. Any questions? We're just gonna work on that for a little bit, all right? We're almost done, boys. What's up? Speak loud. Louder?
He was just ready to clap.
He was ready to clap, okay. All right, clap 1, 2.